a Devar Torah or a drash or a story. And so it's one of those moments where I actually have a drash written, but looking out in this kahal, in this community, dawned on me that maybe that's not where our heads, our hearts are at. And so rather than present us with something that may challenge us in any number of ways, I'll save it, I'll bring it another time, don't worry. But tonight, I think we could all use maybe something a little lighter, maybe a story perhaps. And so in reflecting upon that, I was reminded of a story of the old country. No, not New York. The old country back in Eastern Europe, where there was a community not so different from ours, maybe not nearly as electrified as ours, but certainly filled with life, filled with music, filled with happiness, filled with the presence of love and community. But the one thing they were lacking was a shul, a Beit Knesset, a house of gathering, a place to gather together and pray. And so they convened a committee, because what does any Jewish community do but convene a committee? And they began to discuss the possibility of building a place to pray. And so the committee interviewed a number of architects, because that's what committees do. They assigned a budget, because that's what committees do. And they began to get plans. And they picked out a set of plans that they really loved, because this would be their holy, sacred place of gathering, a place that they could share in their life's journeys, their sorrows, and their blessings. And they set forth a budget. Of course, it went over budget, but that's a different story. And they began to build under the guise, under the watchful eye of the architect whose dream, whose vision this beautiful, profound space was. And the people were so excited as they saw the walls go up. They were so excited as they saw the symbols of Judaism go up within their sacred space. They could not wait to be able to gather together, to daven, to pray, to sing, to rejoice as a community in a place where they could invite God to dwell in their midst. And so the walls went up. The foundation had been laid. Pretty soon the roof went up. And then it began to be filled with beautiful artistic work and a Aron Kodesh, an ark, to hold their sacred scrolls, to hold their Torahs. And then one day they realized the building was ready. And so it was Erev Shabbat, not too dissimilar from ours, except it was closer to winter, so it was getting dark out. And they walked into this sacred space, and they realized there was a problem. For they realized in this beautiful sanctuary, they had dedicated their time, their energy, their treasure to build. There were no lights. It was completely dark. And they weren't sure what to do. And so they went to the rabbi and said, "Rabbi, how can we pray if there are no lights in our sacred space?" And the rabbi said, "Quick, hurry. It's not quite Shabbat just yet. We still have a few moments. Go home and get some lights." And so each person raced home. Each person raced home, and they found candles in their homes. And they raced back, and they lit the candles just in time to light the candles, like Gail did for us, in time for Shabbat. And one by one, those candles began to create light in their sacred space. And the rabbi knew this was a key moment. It was an opportunity, and he said, "Look around. Look around at all these faces you see reflecting in this light. For because you brought your light here, we have holiness in this space. But also note that if your light is missing, our light will be a little diminished." And so from that day forward, every Shabbat, each person would be sure to bring a candle and a friend and a family member to lighten up the space. Now, why do I mention this silly little story? Well, I mention it because it is your light, it is your radiance, it is your presence that enables us to build community, to build sanctity, to build holiness. And whether you're with us in person or you're joining us virtually, we thank you for bringing your light to us. For no matter where our hearts are at, no matter where our minds are at, no matter where our souls are at, we are all lifted at least a little bit by each other's presence and by each other's light. Shabbat Shalom.